On this week's episode of Bayou Wild TV.
It's called Gyotaku, and it was originated in Japan back in the 17th century as simply a means of documentation to record the size and species of a fisherman's catch. I think the first documented Gyotaku print was a red snapper. It was an emperor that went out fishing, and he had his servants on the boat with rice paper. And I don't know what this would be called in Japanese because Gyotaku literally means fish rubbing. So whatever alligator is, that's what this would be called. But it's a rubbing, it's a nature rubbing. Each sunset and each day in the marsh, and each alligator, I get excited over the details and the intricacies over each hunt or each printing. Like I said before, the alligator's DNA is on that canvas forever.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Global Outdoors. Find your next adventure and share your experiences with others by downloading the Global Outdoors mobile app or visiting globaloutdoors.com.
Every day, we strive to preserve traditions that have spanned generations.
Around every turn of the bayou, Mother Nature reveals unique people, places, and experiences.
And the bounty of animals and fish. Well, in Louisiana, we just call that lagniappe. I'm Don Dubuque.
I'm Chris LeCoq.
I'm Captain Martha Spencer. Join us as we document the adventure,
Sportsmanship,
and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
It's September in Bayou country, which means it's time to chase gators. The Bayou Wild crew has had a lot of fun during past gator seasons, from introducing rookies to the sport of alligator hunting.
It doesn't really matter the size of it, it's just the excitement of the hunt in general. They have been challenged throughout the time and they have proven their worthiness to live that long.
You never know when the big one's going to be there on the other end of the line.
To explaining the importance of alligator ranching practices.
I'd expect, it seems like an older gator because you can see from the green growth in it, this nest has been here a little while. She's worked it, but you also see the green grass on top that's not attached, it's not growing. That means she's reworked it lately. She got this nest built really early from the way the vegetation's growing back in it, and she came back and reworked it, and she's just a good mama, She's come back a few times since then and reworked it.
And even making a gator hunter out of our favorite Bayou comedian.
Awesome, man. What he does to promote South Louisiana and our culture and our heritage and our slang, man, the stuff that he can come up with on a whim, it would take me a yellow pad in a week to come up with some of that stuff.
You can do some alligator CrossFit training, chap. Look at this. We're gonna mix this up with a little Bayou yoga next time, like this. Now we do some land lunges, like this.
But on this adventure, the gator becomes the canvas.
Each alligator, I get excited over the details and the intricacies over each hunt or each printing. It brings new excitement. And then each alligator, it brings a new opportunity to experiment with new paints and new techniques and new ideas.
The Louisiana Wildfowl Festival is October 28th and 29th at the Castine Center at Pelican Park in Mandeville. See over 2,000 hand-carved and collector decoys and other stunning wildlife. Reserve a spot at Saturday's dinner and meet guest speaker, lead judge, and 18-time world champion Pat Godin. See live decoy carving and painting at the Louisiana Wildfowl Festival October 28th and 29th at the Castine Center in Mandeville's Pelican Park. There's an absentee auction for non-attendees at lwccg.com. Some say the best sporting event across the country is tailgating. And when it comes to cast iron, stainless, or aluminum pots, pans, fryers, grills, smokers, griddles, boilers, and whatever utensils an expert tailgater could possibly need to satisfy the home crowd, look no further than KingCooker.com. KingCooker with a K.com and save with discount code DDKK23.
One of the reasons why Double D has been around for 50 years is because we are consistent with what built the business. And we go to great lengths to make sure that when you bring a deer or a hog or whatever it may be, your meat stays your meat all the way through the process. But we want to be as true to the original intent, which is a local meat company. And that's something that we want to maintain for as long as the Lord lets us do it.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today. Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA. Continuing this week's episode, it's a bright sunny day in the Louisiana marsh and alligators are on the brain.
That's about a 5-year growth to 4 foot. After that, it's usually a foot a year for the first 4, and then it kind of slows down.
We're on the water with Leslie Charleville, a lover of all things Louisiana, promoter of culture, and a woman with a talent for the unique art form of Gyotaku.
A little movement. It was one of those things that, like, after I got comfortable with the fish, I'm like, well, duh, I mean, where are we at right now? We're in Louisiana. And so, I mean, it was definitely, all right, I got to figure out how to get some alligators to do. And at that time, I would say that the alligator hunting industry was not necessarily as popular as it is now. People hunted, but it wasn't I mean, now it's like, it's an event. It's like an all-month event. And, you know, here, I was out of state somewhere, and I actually saw an alligator Gyotaku on a restaurant wall over there. And I hadn't had the opportunity to do it yet, but, so it had been done, but definitely not locally. The traditional Japanese is sumi ink on rice paper, but it doesn't really work that well on an alligator. And you'll kind of go like halfway down, otherwise it leaves like a butterfly effect. It's called Gyotaku, And it was originated in Japan back in the 17th century as simply a means of documentation to record the size and species of a fisherman's catch. I think the first documented Gyotaku print was a red snapper. It was an emperor that went out fishing, and he had his servants on the boat with rice paper. And I don't know what this would be called in Japanese because Gyotaku literally means fish rubbing. So whatever alligator is, that's what this would be called, but it's a rubbing, you know, it's a nature rubbing. Background is in painting and drawing, and I come from a country fishing, hunting, outdoor loving family, and so those two worlds collided, you know, my background in art and then, you know, my upbringing, and it just was really, that's kind of all she wrote, you know. It's the perfect storm of my passion and my upbringing and what comes natural to me. Alligators have their own set of challenges, like sometimes they still bleed. So I try to, you know, take care of that, but because you don't want blood on your print, you know, if you can avoid that. But I would say the prep work with fish is a little different because, like I said, they are kind of slimy and certain fish bring their own set of challenges, but alligators do too. But you just work around those challenges and adjust. Yeah, it's the nature of what the art form is. Like, you're capturing, you know, the likeness of this alligator. I mean, without making a print, like he would be harvested, he would be gone, like not to be remembered. And now he's going to live on forever, and you know, in somebody's house or on their wall. You know, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Like, from hunting to documentation, his DNA is on the canvas.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a non-profit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Delta Marina is Plaquemines Parish fishing one-stop. Get live bait, fuel, ice, tackle, and marine supplies. Then launch into the world's most productive saltwater fishing. Return to the fishing cleaning station, relax in first-class cabins overlooking the bayou, all in Delta Marina's safety video-monitored parking lot. Need a fishing charter guide? Delta Marina can hook you up. Cook your catch in your kitchenette or dine in the upstairs restaurant. Visit Delta Marina for a day or a week. Stop in just off Highway 11 down Rosemarie Drive in Empire. Visit thedeltamarina.com.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Do you want to make sure you're doing things right when boating in Louisiana?
Make sure every occupant in your vessel is wearing the right type and size life jacket before leaving the dock. Size information for the intended wearer can be found on the information panel.
Make sure you stay safely to the right side of the waterway when you're operating in a narrow channel. Always choose to go right when it is safe and practical.
Make sure you're operating at the right speed for the given conditions every time you're boating. Just because your boat can safely travel at higher speeds in perfect conditions doesn't mean it should in a chop or when encountering other wakes or maneuvers.
In Louisiana, the best way to make sure that you're doing things the right way on the water is by attending and completing one of our boating safety education courses. Learn more and book a course at www.wlf.la.gov. These NASBA-approved courses are statistically proven to save lives. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
When it comes to doing your thing on Louisiana waters, do the right thing.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Michael Johnson. He is the executive chef for LSU Athletics. Today we're cooking up something a little unique for Louisiana and something that a lot of people are familiar with, but may not exactly know how to tackle in the kitchen.
Yeah,
well, tell me what we're doing today.
It definitely has a business end to it, that's for sure. You know, when we cook Gator at the Nutrition Center, it's about kind of celebrating our heritage, right? And so the Gator is, not a lot of people know this, but it's very lean, you know, and it's got a lot of protein. It's high in protein, so it's a viable source for food, and they taste good too. The legs taste a little bit like turkey, but then you kind of get pork tones from the tail as well. Yeah.
A lot of folks that think about alligator meat think there's only one way to cook it, and that's, you know, fried gator bites, and that's only the tail meat.
Yep.
And a lot of times when people go gator hunting, they're thinking about going after the biggest gator they can find. But right here, this is a more manageable way for somebody to do this at home, and what we're gonna actually do is smoke this entire gator. So there's a lot going on here. Walk us through how we're gonna smoke this and how much time we need to do this.
Well, you know, you can smoke this in a couple of hours, but the reason I like the smaller gators is because it's young, and the meat is tender. So the ideal situation for smoking a gator for me is this gator's been brined overnight, so salt instead of sugar I use honey. The idea is that you're pulling some of the liquid out of the gator and you're putting some of the salty liquid back into the gator, right? And what that does is during the cooking process, the salt helps retain moisture. So, you know, it is a lean meat.
It's gonna make it juicier.
Right, that's right. It's gonna hold the moisture in. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna salt rub it.
So this is salt and what else?
So this is
paprika?
Salt. It has some cayenne pepper in it. It has leek powder. It has shallot powder, and some Calabrian chili peppers. Obviously kosher salt as well.
Here, I'll help you.
We want a nice good coating on it.
Yeah, this has got me got the gears turning for me. I have a smoker at home, and I've never attempted something this exotic, but I think I can handle
that
it.
looks good. And the idea here is that we're going to put it on the smoker first with just the rub. What's going to happen here is the heat rises over here, comes across the top of the gator and out the chimney. And so for a while here, we're just going to let him smoke dry. And then after about an hour, we're going to come out here and baste him so that he doesn't dry out too much.
So after an hour, it's got a little bit of a crust going.
That's right.
I'm thinking this is similar to smoking ribs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just, you know, you want to get a nice good spread on it.
Tell me again what's in this?
This is Calabrian chilies, garlic, minced garlic, and olive oil.
It smells delicious.
It tastes quite good, yeah.
We're putting it suntan lotion on.
That's right.
I gotta say, when I thought about this at first, I wasn't so sure about it. I didn't think it was gonna look the most appetizing. but it actually looks pretty good right now.
It smells good, huh?
Yeah. It's
kind of interesting, not that it's matterful or anything, but as it cooks, this mixture kind of darkens up.
Yeah.
And it has like a texture to it. It actually kind of mimics what the skin of a gator looks like when it comes off. It'll darken up with the smoke. As I do this, I just kind of drizzle the oil over the top of it and blot it. I want to be careful not to knock too much of the seasoning off, but it's holding its texture well, and you can see the garlic and chili is kind of cooking to it. And if I drizzle the oil into the garlic and chili, it kind of holds it on the top of the gator and slowly drips down the side of it, which is really ideal as it cooks. It kind of just slowly oozes down the side, and it kind of maintains the basting by itself. When we put it on the smoker, we're going to put it on around 200 degrees. If it fluctuates 10 or 20 degrees, that's fine, but a lot of guys smoke at 250 degrees, and above 220, and you're kind of taking the tenderness away from the meat. At the Nutrition Center, we will cook multiple gators. We'll have one that's a presentation. We'll put in front of everybody and pick the meat from right in front of them. And then we will have 2 or 3 that have already been picked, and we'll put those into other types of dishes. Maybe a sandwich, maybe a pasta dish. But
so the total cooking time for this alligator to be smoked for, you said, is about 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Temperature based.
Yeah, exactly.
You can cook it faster or slower. Tell me a little about when you would serve this to the students and the athletes, why you would serve it to them, and how do they receive it?
Well, I think that one would think that we would serve this during the Florida game, but
right.
We try not to be gimmicky like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, when we cook gator, for instance, last year after we won the championship, we came home and we cooked gator, and it wasn't about somebody that we defeated. It was about celebrating being Louisianans, and we actually had a much better turnout for it than I thought we would. The reason we cooked it is not just because we're Louisiana and we're celebrating our culture, but it is a lean white meat, and it's high in protein, so it has nutritional value to it. It tastes like chicken, and it also tastes like pork, and it has pieces of it. The dark leg meat, once it's smoked and cooked, it tastes a little bit like turkey. So it's an interesting creature, and it's an interesting product to use. You put them all together, and it's a delicious dish.
So if you're like me, anytime you see an alligator now, you're just going to look at it as a menu item and not so much a wild creature.
Absolutely.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
Don, the Outdoors Guy, here to tell you about my Mr. Outdoors portable butane stove. A camp breakfast in the woods, frying a hot shoreline lunch, or thankfully serving up a candlelight dinner when the power's out, the Mr. Outdoors portable stove and its compact carrying case is there whenever I need it. Find Mr. Outdoors cookout stoves and durable stainless steel portable charcoal grills at mroutdoorscookout.com. Use discount code DDKK23. You're watching Bayou Wild TV, award-winning outdoor programming. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or visit the website BayouWildTV.com to watch past episodes. The Louisiana Wildfowl Festival is October 28th and 29th at the Castine Center at Pelican Park in Mandeville. See over 2,000 hand-carved and collector decoys and other stunning wildlife. Reserve a spot at Saturday's dinner and meet guest speaker, lead judge, and 18-time world champion Pat Godin. See live decoy carving and painting at the Louisiana Wildfowl Festival October 28th and 29th at the Castine Center in Mandeville's Pelican Park. There's an absentee auction for non-attendees at lwccg.com.
Delta Marina is Plaquemines Parish fishing one-stop. Get live bait, fuel, ice, tackle, and marine supplies. Then launch into the world's most productive saltwater fishing. Return to the fishing cleaning station, relax in first-class cabins overlooking the bayou, all in Delta Marina's safety video-monitored parking lot. Need a fishing charter guide? Delta Marina can hook you up. Cook your catch in your kitchenette or dine in the upstairs restaurant. Visit Delta Marina for a day or a week. Stop in just off Highway 11 down Rosemarie Drive in Empire. Visit thedeltamarina.com.
Some things in life smell delicious. Others, not so much. Like a gas leak. Propane, for instance, is naturally odorless. That's why we add strong odorants to alert you if there is a leak. So if you ever smell gas, turn your system off at the tank and call your propane dealer immediately. Propane is a safe and exceptional fuel, and we want to keep it that way.
When it comes to ways we blend the past and present while featuring our Louisiana culture, there's no better way than to express this by using wildlife as a canvas. The prints Leslie will create not only provide a nice piece of art, but also tell a story of the time outdoors.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot of work. But it's a fun process, and the way I view it is that it's something that not many people get to do. I mean, how many people, this was their first hunt? I consider myself really fortunate and blessed that this is very normal to me. It's a normal part of life, and I meet the coolest people. I have the best stories, and I don't take it for granted. I mean, I know that it's a gift, and so I just try to live in that and appreciate it for what it is. And
this gator print will find its way into someone's home, maybe an office building or gallery, and its story will live on for all to enjoy.
Like I said before, the alligator's DNA is on that canvas forever. Each sunset and each day in the marsh, and each alligator, I get excited over the details and the intricacies over each hunt or each printing.
So it's all peace, love, and gators once again as we celebrate the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage of Bayou Wild.